Today, on Another Note.
But how do we handle, knowing that you could potentially have a child who is a bullier, or you can actually have a child who is being bullied?
How do you feel about surrogacy on a whole?
And I'm so glad that you brought up this topic, Adri, because it's something that in the Caribbean we're not used to.
Carrying a baby, you get so attached to all those moments. The kicks that you feel, the growing, the annoyance of being pregnant because you're hot. Like you get so attached.
Get paid for that, So I'm thinking to myself, I got a belly, I'm getting money.
Who does the dishes and who cuts the grass? If he's there, I shouldn't be lifting no heavy things. I might break a nail or something.
Hi, welcome to On Another Note. We are not your average talk show, which is why you're watching. Ladies, let's welcome our guest co-host today, Kyla Forbes.
Hi, Kyla. Thank you for having me.
Yay! Welcome on set. So tell me, how was your week?
Well, I had a fantastic time. This was my first time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I was actually going to a conference. It had the Caribbean Dermatology Association, and they have an annual conference, and this year it was in St. Vincent. And I had the pleasure, I was kind of humbled actually by the invitation to be one of their speakers.
Oh,
yes. So I had to prepare a lecture on the approaches to leg ulcers. So a part of I do general dermatology, cosmetic dermatology, but I also manage chronic wounds. And so teaching everyone, general doctors and specialists alike, to do the basics, the fundamentals in wound care, how to take a history, how to do the proper examination, and then some key points on treatments. So it was just kind of a very humble experience to share with these experts and these colleagues in my field in St. Vincent. But outside of that lecture, I kind of had like a few tours. I was like a tourist.
That's great. Yeah. Sometimes you go to these places and you don't really get to see the island or
Absolutely. They actually have this fizzy spring. So you could think about club soda. And they actually have a spring that they call the spa. And you can walk with your bottle and just put it by the spring and you get club soda from a spring.
wow. Say what?
Of course.
Like, did you drink it?
I did. I have my picture with me at the spring getting my spa water. It's amazing.
What? That's
Beautiful.
awesome.
All you do is add lemon to it and drink?
Sometimes people do that. They add vodka, they add lemon, they make drinks out of it.
Oh!
Like every full moon, there's a party by the spring to actually make drinks and have a good time. So
we're doing a trip. Where's producer? We need a trip to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay, we need a sponsor to sponsor this trip. That was awesome. Yeah, I also had a pretty good week. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a new ice cream shop called Retreat. Have you been?
I've heard about it. I haven't been yet.
Listen, best ice cream on BVI. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. And I'm going to test them all to make sure. But but it's really good. So if you haven't been there, definitely a suggestion. Maybe we make it a trip and go. It was awesome. So shout outs to you, Retreat, because that was really good ice cream. Carrot cake, ice cream, passion fruit, all local
Ice cream on Angel after the tape.
Clearly. Ice cream on me after. Anything else interesting that you guys did this week?
Besides the stress, not really.
life on the Virgin Islands is good.
Well, good. So now that we've all de-stressed from our week, I want to talk about something that may be considered a little bit stressful. Okay. So on that note, here we go. Bullying. Oh, everyone's eyes started rolling. Bullying is an issue, not just in BVI, but globally. Yeah. We're finding too many videos are happening. Yeah. So this week on Facebook, I saw a news article about a 9-year-old who actually committed suicide because he was bullied. Wow. And that mom could not catch herself from this event. I mean, how do we handle this? As a parent of 3, honestly, I have one son who is a bit more aggressive than others. But how do we handle, knowing that you could potentially have a child who is a bullier, or you can actually have a child who is being bullied. What are your thoughts?
Well, I have more children than anybody else here. This it. I have 3, and schools have a policy. If you're hit, report it to the teacher. But being a Caribbean mother, I tell my children, defend yourself. And by defending yourself, you doesn't necessarily have to hit that person, but stand your ground. Speak to the other child, tell them, don't hit me. My mother lives at home, my father lives, don't hit me. But stand your ground and basically defend yourself, because I feel that that is the best way to stop a bully.
I feel like the best way to handle a bully is to make sure that the bully's parent knows your child is a bully. And if that parent doesn't acknowledge that that child is a bully, to me, that's where the fight is lost, because then you have this kind of thought about your child, making it seem like they're perfect, but then when they go to school, they're a terror to others. And I mean, personally, I have a 16-year-old brother son, and at the end of the day, it is report, yes, but if somebody hit you, don't come home and tell me somebody hit you. You hit him back.
That's her.
I'm kind of conflicted with it, because I'm thinking of the bullying that I experienced growing up. I'm thinking of the bullying that others have experienced, and the vast differences in the reactions. Because you have people who are bullied and they become bulliers. Then you have people who are abused and they become bulliers. And then you have the people that are bullied and they can become stronger and learn or grow from it. And then you have those that succumb to it and really just can't mentally deal with all that it comes with. So being a parent, it's nice to tell your child, don't do it. But I will just have to show up at the school with the child, all her uncles and her father and the big men them, to say, don't do it. Because I don't want to do it. Everybody already know my mouth big. It's just rah, 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 rah for me. But I have to intimidate to prove a point to don't touch my child.
Yeah, I think, if we bring it a bit closer to home, one of the things that I find that gets confused a lot is bullying and abuse.
Yeah.
Bullying really is the verbiage.
That's true.
It is a psychological issue, and I'm sure the doctor can correct me if I'm going wrong. It actually is where someone is being dominant in their personality and forcing the other person to feel terrible about themselves. That is bullying. When it comes to throwing hands, that is actually assault and battery. And we need to start making that definition, because even here locally, we have a lot of issues that we call bullying, and it's not. It's a crime. And that's the truth. We don't get to the point where we're saying this is a crime. This is the crime. And we've had several issues, especially in our high school with the junior high children. We're having a ton of those issues in the primary school level. We have to do something as a community to start getting the word out there, because we're confusing physical attacks with bullying. That's not what bullying is. Bullying is not the physical attack. When it gets to physical attacks, we need to start actioning those items, making sure that children are suspended when they touch somebody, making sure that they are then expelled if it becomes repeat behavior. I don't know the last time I've heard of a child being expelled, and I know of many children who are consistently being problematic.
I think too, our system, our education system, need to be more comprehensive. So when we detect these bullies and you tell the parent, a lot of times the parents are not even in a position to even handle that child, depending on how far it goes. So maybe we need to get a blanket, we need a network where we can guide these persons who are bullies into being better people, because mentally they're doing it for a reason.
Right. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe the reason too is I don't think that our mental or psychological resources in the school are that strong either. Sometimes you have one,
Guidance
counselor to 3 schools, or she making visits and she don't even know which school, which student, which class. And I'm like, how are you even? Or when I look at the guidance counselor, I like, no, she can't handle these children. Who hired her?
I believe it was the public schools had like an event recently where they did a march in Rotown, and they were doing an anti-bullying march, which I think is awesome. But we need to start making it a daily part of conversation, because it's not just children being bullied, but it's also bullying outside of just children. And I think that takes us to the next note. So, Adri?
Well, on that note, on another note with entertainment, speaking of bullying, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade just had a baby. Congratulations to them.
I love Gabrielle Union. I absolutely love her.
Right, but she had a baby via surrogacy. And so the first photo that they put out was her holding the baby on top of her and him by her. She looked extremely tired. Her hair wasn't done, no makeup on, and, you know, expressing her love. And it almost seemed as though she had labor. And I could swear she posted the night before of her looking like the fabulous size 2 or 4 that she is. I'm like, well, when did she get pregnant? But, you know, if you knew the history of her, she has been vocal about her miscarriages. She's been vocal about the challenges with having a baby. But persons were completely dismissive of that. And they were like, oh, how could she put out there that she had this baby? She ain't sleeping, she ain't eat. What baby? That ain't her baby. So I'm like, how do you feel about that situation with her? And how do you feel about surrogacy on a whole? Especially in the BVI.
It's the same stressors. I mean, maybe her body is not going through the same changes, but emotionally from the onset, from the conception of this embryo now baby, it was her. So, I mean, thinking about the stresses of her having a loss, the same level of anxiety she's exercising on this surrogate person to see if can this be a successful pregnancy. Remember too that you have to support the surrogate, because you're not just paying them and then they deliver the baby, give you the baby. You're following through the same 9 months. So I'm sure from the minute she learned her surrogate was in labor, that was it. It's the same emotional.
That's what I was thinking. So if that labor was 26 hours, she was there 26 hours. And I was like, oh, baby girl, your child.
Yes.
Yeah, it's her child legally.
But her child, definitely.
But DNA wise.
Kyla, let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it. You don't find that she looked a bit too exhausted?
She was emotionally, mentally exhausted. She was probably there, like Adrian has said, 26 hours of labor. She was there every step of the way, okay? She was right there, but I don't know if she was in the room, not in the room, but the anxiety that comes with it. And after trying year after year after year,
She did. Yeah.
like, how can you really feel? It's just like, I think she deserves to be tired.
Gabs, we congratulate you personally. I felt like you should have just seen your glam squad right before, because I thought it was false advertisement, but I'm so happy and I understand.
No, I mean, but Anja, come on. Anja, you have 3 kids. What glam squad when you had them babies?
She didn't have a baby.
But, I mean, but you, if you think of just you having your babies, forget all the surrogacy thing. You having your baby, you had a glam squad? Okay, I had a glam squad. It was me. I did. I came to the hospital in full makeup. The nurses was like, oh my God, you're going to give birth. And I said, get her out, get her out.
But like it's like the same thing.
Where dads are emotionally taxed too during
Right,
delivery,
definitely.
so they don't look put together.
No,
They
they're
look
not.
stressed out sometimes more than the woman.
But let's think
Really?
about it. If she had a glam squad there, she still would have been ridiculed for it.
I agree.
It would have been like, oh,
That's a good
this,
point,
Yeah.
that.
actually.
Either way, she couldn't win. But either way, she did win, because now she have a beautiful baby girl. And that's it.
Yay, that's awesome.
And I'm so glad that you brought up this topic, Adri, because it's something that in the Caribbean we're not used to. Surrogacy, we watch it on TV, but we don't really acknowledge that it is a true option. So sometimes women feel very hopeless when they've tried a lot of fertility treatments and it failed, they've had miscarriages. Our hope is not lost. And it's not an international thing. Surrogacy is available worldwide. And so I think that instead of women feeling a little bit too depressed in the Caribbean, making it feel like it's impossible, try surrogate. Yeah.
Yeah.
The options are there.
And that's so true.
Like people
Options
just think
are
like
there.
maybe a surrogate is some random stranger and you have to provide for them and no, you have an extra bill. But I know of mothers being surrogates to their daughters and like older mothers, if their body can physically handle the strain of having a baby whenever in their late 50s or what have you, and their daughter's 20 something and married and just can't have a baby for whatever reason, the mothers carry their grandchild.
You know, I always thought though, the other side of the coin. What is that person who's actually carrying that child going through? What is that person feeling?
That's what you signed up for.
That must,
I'm talking about
but
emotional.
emotionally, I see you because you must, carrying a baby, you get so attached to all those moments. The kicks that you feel,
yes.
The growing, the annoyance of being pregnant because you're hot. Like, you get
But those
so
surrogates
attached.
get paid for that, So I'm thinking to myself, I got a belly, I'm getting money. I get a belly, because other mothers are like, I got a belly, I ain't got no money. I ain't
Like Kim
able.
Kardashian's surrogate. When she had her episode about her surrogate came on, and she was talking about this is a job for me, and what I enjoy seeing is me handing over that baby and the joy I see in the parents that I'm giving that baby to.
And
So
the joy
they
in her
kinda-
bank account when
and
they
she
drop that
exactly
check.
because she's doing it again for somebody else.
$500,000 or a quarter. I don't know. Just give me the coins.
Well, you can see it's getting hot and heated here on this note. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned.
Who does the dishes and who cuts the grass? If he's there, I shouldn't be lifting no heavy things. I might break a nail or something.
At Horizon Catering, we deliver the highest quality food, innovative presentations, and professional services. We know how important catering is to your event, so we cut no corners to ensure a satisfying and memorable event. We can turn your next event from the ordinary to the extraordinary. For the highest quality food, innovative presentations, and professional services, call Horizon Catering at 284-499-2132 or 499-2142. At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, or super yacht. You can also find a wide variety of silk and dried flower designs, fresh cut flowers, local flowers, tropical blooms, fruit and gourmet baskets, chocolates, balloons, both helium and air-filled, various gift items, and an assortment of plush animals. With a floral experience spanning over 28 years, we have earned a reputation for excellence both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
And we're back right here on another note. So I want to say a special thank you to a few people. We are looking lovely today, ladies. Yay! Shout out to Beautiful by Jasanay, represented with accessories today on our co-host, Kayla, guest co-host. We've got Bertha in a gorgeous floral dress. We also want to say a big shout outs to She Likes, who always comes through with the unique jewelry. Check them out. They're located in Virgin Gorda, right? Make sure you check them out. We're going to say this wrong because it's not actually crazy trends. It is
Classy thread.
classy threads.
It was made just for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you want something custom, it looks
We'll probably do some type of modeling at the end. Wink, wink, producer.
gorgeous. So if you want something original, definitely catch that. And I am wearing today Menen-I designs. And thank you. Listen, funky like me, let me tell you. So shout outs to you. We want to thank again all of our sponsors. This morning we had some awesome breakfast. Listen, shout outs to the cook.
All the time.
Shout out to the cook. We don't
all
give a
the
lot of credit to
variations,
the
like,
people behind the scene, but shout out to the cook.
Yes.
Listen, I this morning I had an omelet, and normally I have just the cereal or the cream of wheat or the tea. The omelet, you guys missed it. I actually had 2 omelets, but we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that.
You can afford to do that.
Well, on that note, Queen Bee.
On another note, today's hot topic. Who does the dishes and who cuts the grass? It was brought to my attention that in today's modern home, we don't know exactly who does what, because now the ladies are going out and they're making money, as much money or sometimes more than the men. But you know, who does what? Am I supposed to be cooking all the time?
No.
We actually had a poll, and our viewers said, in actuality, that 82% of our viewers say that no, women should not stick to the regular household all the time.
Okay.
What do you think?
I agree with that.
You agree with that?
Especially if you live in a house with just women. I mean, who is the man that's coming over to cut the grass? I am the man to cut the grass. I'm telling you, I cut the grass, I cut bushes. I mean, it's not an easy task when you realize how much manpower you may need. So then you think, maybe I do need a boyfriend. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But, but I would say it's both. Females can do it. Men can. I don't think it's a man thing. I just think that when you're going to do it, be prepared that you might just burn some extra calories.
Go ahead. Sorry, doctor. I think that if you are living with them, I mean, if you're living by yourself, of course you have to, you know, because we're capable.
You can hire
But
people.
if you're living with a man, I don't know, because I grew up with both my parents, I feel he needs to cut the grass and to cut the garbage, because I don't ask him to cook. I mean, although he should chip in sometimes, because I am going out and working as well. I bring in the cheddar, just like you. But I feel that I shouldn't be lifting. I shouldn't be lifting. If he's there, I shouldn't be lifting no heavy things. I might break a nail or something. I need to look gorgeous.
Let me be an advocate for the opposite. I don't like to say devil's advocate anymore. But so what about your opinions on gender roles? Do you believe in the woman should stay in a woman's place and a man should play in a man's place, or no?
This is a really touchy one.
I was about to say, let's stick to the household chores for now, and then we gonna come back.
My expectation is to stay cute and stay quiet and don't touch garbage and don't cut the grass. And his expectations is to bring home the cheddar and do all the hard work and then lay it down in the bedroom. I don't understand. And sometimes you don't even get that. So
Be a doctor.
Well, those days are not there so much anymore. I mean, Berta rightfully said that now when you look at the statistics of people who are in school, it's definitely female dominated. Somehow we're not encouraging our men to go further.
right.
Where women are going the extra mile, they're becoming the experts. I mean, I see women handling excavators and things.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is it's not necessarily gender roles, it's roles of support. So if, for example, wife is out and has a long, busy day, not because the role should be the woman's own to cook or do laundry, should you leave it there and wait until this exhausted woman who comes home to raise your children has had a hard day's work, also does her equal part to the bills, has to come home and cook? I feel like the converse is true. So I feel like it's a role of support. So you see what your partner needs and then you pull out the short stops right there. So what you would do to support your husband, if for example, I mean, some people may not fancy cutting grass, but what if that's your skill as a woman? Nothing's wrong with that. Go and cut the grass if that's what you want to do on the weekend. But either way, for me, the gender role is kind of blurred right now. I feel like it's more a role of support. Support your partner.
Yeah, personally, I think that there are just some tasks that we need to assign to
Men and
well, not necessarily
Either
men
one.
and women, but either one.
Yeah, I agree with Angela. I think that it's different for different relationships, but have that conversation. It's not our community has changed so much. The woman isn't just in the kitchen, the man isn't just outside. But whatever works for your relationship, have that discussion because like Dr. Shakima said, it's so blurred. No communication, it's all messed up, and it's like, oh well, you didn't do the dishes. Well, you were supposed to do the dishes. No, it's have that conversation. Whatever works in your relationship, that's what you
Yeah, so if you are the female that takes out the garbage, do your thing, baby girl. If your husband is cooking and cleaning, if that's his forte, but it needs to be agreed. So I'm definitely with Kyla and Bertha on this. So communication is the key.
Consideration.
Absolutely. So, on another note, so today let's just talk about our health and beauty note right now. Let's talk a little bit about melanin. All right. So I love the spectrum of melanin we have here sitting, but one of the biggest issues that we all can attest to here is hyperpigmentation. That is excess pigment where you don't want it, right? I'm not talking about changing skin tones. I'm talking about imbalance in your skin tone.
Talk to us.
Right? So a lot of times this actually looks more accentuated. This hyperpigmentation or excess melanin or melanocytes, they actually go and affect more so the Indian skin type, Hispanic skin type, and your darker skin type. Not saying that Caucasians don't experience a lot of hyperpigmentation, but they mostly experience more erythema or redness. You'll see them flushing a lot. So a lot of times the more common things or reasons why we could have that hyperpigmentation, acne, of course. I mean, people just have acne-prone skin. That's one thing. And that's actually, we call that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Because what happens is when you get a pimple, your body is really throwing a lot more melanin at that actual insult in your skin to protect you. If you could think about your regular skin cells, usually Caucasian skin, they have a little Jewish hat. That's how their melanocyte, their melanin is distributed. But when it's a more hyperpigmented or darker skin type like us, it's like we're wearing a sombrero. So it's your body actually throwing pigment to protect you from damage to that actual area that's a little bit weakened now. So, okay?
Listen, I
so
read about this so many times, but your explanation has just made it so clear. Like,
so it's just your body trying to protect you. Exactly. So sometimes what
magic.
Exactly. So sometimes it's just that your body overdoes that. So you need to find ways to actually kind of blend or balance that a little bit. I'll tell you another reason why you get a lot of more hyperpigmentation. Do you guys do anything about something called melasma? It's more like a hormonal type hyperpigmentation where sometimes after you're pregnant or like after you've become like 40, you get this darkness that shadows your cheeks hair on your forehead. I don't know if you've noticed it. It's more hormonal related. So that's another reason. And then the third reason that I want to talk about with hyperpigmentation is this. I know we have a lot of makeup goddesses out there, but this era of using the wipe to remove your eyeshadow makeup, that friction that you constantly do to rub your eyes to remove that eyeshadow, you end up with a raccoon eye. Have you guys noticed that?
A permanent raccoon eye?
I mean, it technically behaves permanent because you keep on doing the same behavior.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Listen,
so
we're giving out life lessons right here on another note. Makeup artist?
Yeah.
But now that I see certain people, it makes sense to me now because, okay, I have a relatively large nose. But I have family members, it's a habit that we push up the nose. And I have certain family members, we have a line.
We call that the nasal salute.
And over the years, that line just keep getting more defined.
Yeah.
So I have made a conscious decision to not do that.
Right.
But my relatives are all, they're too far for them. It's gone.
So it's that repetitive action is what's causing that inflammation. So that one is not, I wouldn't say easy, but it's easier to correct because you just stop the habit.
Right.
So how can we really, as everyday people, how can we even correct? You already have these issues. How do we rectify those issues?
Well, I'm going to say 3 basic things that you need to do.
Take it out.
Everybody got a pen up? Okay, so one is exfoliate. okay? When we were babies and we have that younger, youthful skin, our skin cells shed like synchronously. I mean, they just shed simultaneously is what I should say. Everything sheds at the same time.
Okay.
But when you get a little bit more mature, you're over 25, so that shedding becomes a little bit more imbalanced, and that's why your tone gets a little bit offset after 25 or so. So exfoliants, so gentle exfoliants are great. You can do this in the form of a wash. And I'll say that the 3 things that you look out for on the container: glycolic acid, salicylic acid, all right, and the next one is benzoyl peroxide. If you have like acne prone skin, that last one is the best one for that. If you don't have any of those kind of exfoliant type washes, what you can do is you can definitely use a gentle wash, but then use a toner. So you guys know the concept of the toner, right?
So tell me your top 3 toners for
I
melanin
absolutely love glycolic acid. Why? It's in the category of fruit acids. So it's gentle, it's natural. We call those alpha hydroxy acids. So they're in the same family as like lemons, oranges. So you can actually make your own toner at home. You can use lemon juice. You can actually use things people use as apple cider vinegar.
So I used lemon juice and apple cider vinegar recently, but before I was using lemon juice and baking soda as a scrub.
And that's the scrub, and that's the exfoliant part. So you got it right.
I know about
So-
that and that's actually a really good scrub, and it works fast.
So that's one. So you use an exfoliant. You want to strip the dead skin, and that acid gives you a little bit of a glow. The next thing I want to say is choose a night cream. Well, first of all, you choose makeups that are non-comedogenic. That means does not block pores. That means your makeup should say it's not oil-based. It should be water-based, because you don't want anything that's going to give you acne. The last thing that actually helps you to balance out your skin tone nicely is choose a night cream that has a little bit more rejuvenation. So you're going to look for things like retinols. You're going to look for a lot more for vitamin infused creams. So things that have vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin Bs, those are fantastic. And they actually help you to rejuvenate the skin. Things like hyaluronic acid. I'm saying these things because you got to look at the bottle. It's not the brand that's going to get you there. It's what is in. Exactly. It's
So what
the
about even
ingredient.
taking those vitamins separately? Like if you take vitamin D or vitamin B or, you know.
Taking it, you don't get the same results as applying it. So if you have it separately and you want to apply it as a serum. Don't choose an oil. Use a serum because
Doctor,
it's thin enough.
Sorry, I want to ask a question. What about the arms? We tend to focus on the face, but the arms.
Yeah, we do have hyperpigmentation
in other areas.
The big girls,
No, we're getting a little deeper, and I know my time is running out.
Listen, I'm going to ask you guys, follow us on Facebook. On another note, follow our Instagram page. We are going to link some of the various ingredients that you heard about to make sure that you have the best skin that you could have. So we'll be right back on another note.
You love good food? Well, circle the month of November on your calendar. Why? The BVI invites you to the 5th annual BVI Food Fest. During the month of November, the BVI invites you to experience a collection of culinary experiences at the BVI Food Fest. Special menus at restaurants, catered events, and special culinary excursions, all in the BVI during the month of November. Gourmet for a Cause, October 27th. Taste of Tortola, November 3rd. Yost Pork Festival, November 11th. Anegada, November 23rd. And the Anegada Lobster Festival, November 24th and 25th. BVI Food Fest, November 2018. Amazing bar crawl, Yost Crawl, Yost Van Dyke, November 11th. On the Rocks Bar Crawl, Virgin Gorda, November 16th. Taste of Virgin Gorda, November 17th. Lobster Crawl and cook-offs with world-renowned chefs and mixologists. For more information, visit bvifoodfed.com. BVI Food Fest, a celebration of BVI heritage, flavors, and traditions.
Welcome back to On Another Note. So, ladies, as always, it is time for our DIY. So, this time, what we're doing is something simple, and I figured it's a holiday season. So what can you do to spice up your home? Whether you're renting, whether you own, this is simple, easy, and you only need 3 products. Ready? It's a DIY mat. So you're gonna step into Cameron zone. Back on another note, we are back to our final few minutes on the show, ladies. Oh, it has been so good for me to sit in April's seat for a couple minutes. So, yes, we do miss April. So, ladies, what did you think about the DIY mat?
I mean, I just want to hire you because I can't. I don't know. It seems so simple. It really is. It's like simple. I'm here thinking, okay, maybe it's a project for me and Isabella. Just trying to contemplate how
it really
she would
is.
spray me with the
But my daughter and I worked on this together. It's a simple mat that you can purchase. I got this particular one from Drake's. Okay. You buy spray paint in any color. So it's a Christmas season. So I figure we could do it green or red. You could put Merry Christmas. You could put nobody lives here, don't come here, something, nice and funky.
And then you can even use your old mat and give it a new
You
look.
can use
by
your
doing
old mat,
this.
give it a new look. So this is it in its raw formatting. When you see the finished product, we're going to put some embellishments on the outside just to give it a bit of decor.
Where did you get the stencils?
So the stencils, you can also purchase those from Drake's, Clarence Thomas, any of our hardware stores. You can purchase these. And you'll get to see what that all looks like, but it's really literally 5 minutes.
Yeah. I love it.
Literally. And then someone will think that you ordered this on Amazon.
I'm going to redo my old mat.
Customs and tax.
Tell me about it.
And none of that. Custom
And listen, it's just as good for wiping your feet off. So on that note.
And on another note, we're on to the part that we all hate. The end. Yes. So we're going to just say again, thank you to our guest co-host for being here, Kyla.
Thank you guys. I really enjoyed it. It went way too fast.
It really did. So lovely. And then, April, wherever you are, we miss you. Again, thank you to our crew. Thank you to all our sponsors, lovely ladies, our co-hosts here. Until next time, see you again on another note. Let's talk about this. We will talk about the chicken. No more eggs.
So yesterday was a producer's birthday. How about celebrate? You still there taping? Let us celebrate our producer's 42nd year of life. And she doesn't look like it at all. Who has a champagne? Pop it! Okay, it's coming. Ready? It's coming. Ready? Drink. Happy birthday to you. I want the Carrot Bay version. Angel has to serenade you. The Carrot Bay version. Hit him, Angel.
Give me some of that birthday cake. Natalie made a birthday today. Put your foot on a higher place. Give me some of that birthday cake. Natalie made a birthday today. Natalie made a birthday today. About how much?
I see it.
About what?
Cupcakes. You probably want that on you.
Well, I was just about to say. What did Jill Scott do?
Not today. The heat.
No.
Woo!
I'm not biting, you know.
Is this Jill Scott?
No. Can we just
Can we just take a picture with me going to bite into it?
No, bite it, bite it, bite it, bite it, bite it. I know, right?